Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Before and After Thoughts with yours truly, as always, Queen Crazy K. Be sure not to only watch, but like and subscribe to my channel to watch this and more podcasts like it. Follow me on that Instagram, as always. We got a lot of things to cover. Now, before I dig into this show, we got Raw versus SmackDown. So I'm gonna cover the week and of and the Money in the Bank, and then the week that just passed as we're 2 weeks till SummerSlam. So I'm gonna cover all that just so you guys know what's going on. So what I'm starting with, this happened 2 weeks ago, celebrating the 20 years of Mr. Hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up, 16-time WWE champion John Cena. Now I got a video that I made for him that I'm gonna show you at the end of this podcast that I made specifically for him. Is all the WWE superstars respecting John Cena, like R-Truth, Dollars in there, and The Miz, who's been in the ring with John Cena for years. He knows John Cena, who respected him and may gave him a hard time in the past, but definitely respects him today. He is a game changer and a superstar that everybody looks up to so much, not because of only his dominations in the ring, that he's not afraid to back down for a challenge. He always gets the job done. He picks his feet up if he doesn't, fights better and stronger the next time, and he has the positive attitude with the gratitude, which is why WWE took that honor to make a championship belt for him. Specifically, that I'm going to show you as well. I saw in the video. He went from a bodybuilder to OVW wrestling school, which is where like Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar and Batista also got to go, and to Prototype, to Rookie, to Ruthless Aggressive, to Ward Life, to Dr. Death Anonymous, Big Match John, 16-time WWE champion, and now got a championship belt made specifically 20 years later for John Cena, on his way to being a Hall of Famer and a legendary WWE superstar. I mean, he's already a legendary in my book. Now it's just when they make it official to make him in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. Such a big impact on the WWE. Not only loves wrestling and loves what he's doing, but doesn't forget, without the fans, you wouldn't be able to do what you do love, because without them paying a ticket, watching a show, you wouldn't be able to go in there and do it, because there'd be no build, there'd be no show. So I'm glad that he always gives back. He gives respect to get respect. Whether you love him or hate him, he's a great athlete, great superstar, and a great human being. That's why John Cena, since day one, he's the one that I seen wrestle first. He's the one that got me into wrestling. He's the one that got me interested in and going, always have and always will be my number one favorite WWE superstar, John Cena. Now, with that being said, that was a warm welcome that he got at Monday Night Raw when that started it off. And then later on in the night, and the match, like I say, came out there, did his promo, gave his thanks to the universe, and always gets back, making sure, hey, you get his hat and shirt like he would normally do if he was wrestling in a match. He gave back to you guys what we give to them, whether it's love or hate. You're still there, you're still watching it, you're still acknowledging it. And so he definitely remembers that, and definitely thank you guys for what you let me do, just as well as you think that. Well, thank you for giving me an opportunity to go in there and do the same thing like you. So, with that being said, later on tonight, then we want to see who got topped by the 14-time World Heavyweight Champion, second generation, Money in the Bank winner, Royal Rumble winner, the Viper, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton himself as a second generation, teaching Matt Riddle, a third generation of them, how to get the job done as former Raw Tag Team Champions. And he's likes to be chill and have fun and have a good time, and still so dominant and gets the job done. Now, to me, the Mysterios, they got screwed out by Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. With Dolph Ziggler and The Miz screwing the Mysterios out, Ricochet was also in there, former Intercontinental Champion, proving why he's a Ninja Warrior, why he's an Intercontinental Champion, hopping off the ladder into the ring without even touching the ground. Shanky and Jinder Mahal and all them, and so many more was in there. Ended up with Matt Riddle winning the Battle Royal, earning his way into a Money in the Bank opportunity. very well done and got that job done. And then we were to see the almighty Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits win a six-man tag team match against Theory and the Usos, who, I mean, he may be the youngest United States champion, but the youngest WWE superstar that got bounced over the announcer table by Angela Dawkins. I mean, that was a big impact. And with them winning that 3-on-3 six-man tag team match. And then, after that was all said and done, then you had Liv Morgan. You know, she's so dominating as a team. Like, she has the heart. So you see that she's not only a pretty face, but she has the heart. She has the strength that, she, you know, they're like, oh, she almost gets the job done. She almost gets so close, but can never quite get it, you know, together all the way like she wanted to. And the fact that she went out there and showed, I don't need Absolution or the Wyatt Squad to get me to where I am, that I can go out there myself and be dominated just as much as I am with that team. And, you know, she picked up a victory over a former Raw SmackDown Women's Champion, a former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion successfully, and former Miss Money in the Bank, Alexa Bliss, the goddess Alexa Bliss, the evil is Alexa Bliss. But that night, Liv Morgan picked up a victory over her. So, I mean, that really showed her that I'm here for a purpose just like the rest of you guys. And I'm a part of this because of who I am, not because of what you think I am, and not because of somebody else can do the work for me. I do the work for myself and work my ass off to get here, and I got the job done just like you. So I really love that in Liv Morgan to prove that to everybody. So Liv Morgan picking up that victory over Alexa Bliss. I talked about the six-man tag team match. Riddle, such a big win in that battle royal. I mean, doing everything that Randy Orton taught him to, whether it's manipulation, mind games, thinking outside the box, doing unique things that you wouldn't see normally. You know, it's wrestling. You want to see high flying, you want to see quickness, strength, actually, but every superstar is different in their own particular way, whether it's strength like John Cena, whether it's power like Bobby Lashley, whether it's athleticy like you'd see like Seth Rollins, or unique like Randy Orton, or mind games like he taught Riddle to do. They get the job done in their own unique ways, and they're very successful. They're superstars for what they bring to the table. Everybody's here with purpose. Like I was just talking about with Liv Morgan picking up the victory over Alexa Bliss single-handedly in that singles action. And then, the rest of that, now, like I said, John Cena came out and beat the universe. That's why people look up to him so much. That's why people can see the positive in him. Be like, you know what? I may not like the guy, but it's kind of hard not to respect him. It's kind of hard not to see his point of view, because, you know, he's not a selfish person that just takes it all from him and be like, well, I'm all high and mighty. You're nothing to me. He always gives back. He gets to give. I mean, he gives, you know, he doesn't flip that around and be like, well, it's all about me. It's all about getting respect. He gives the respect. He gives the love. He gives the supportation. And he always has. Even when he was the warlike Dr. Devonopolis, you know, supposed to be like an asshat for a minute there, they loved him as WWE champion because he always involved the WWE universe with them, though. He never let them out. You know, I've seen all of it since I've been born, is since when John Cena debuted in the WWE. So I know all about it. You know, and then it comes from being a comedian on these movies, comes in the ring, like, hey, no one forgot about you. How can someone do that? Like, if you know wrestling, you know John Cena. You know him on the video games, you know him on the movies, you know him just in general. He is that guy, like JBL on the bump was saying. And I would love, like JBL was saying, to be a 17-time WWE champion. If anybody were to break that record, John Cena is that guy, because he got the gratitude with the attitude. You have to, you know, you could be a dominant WWE superstar, but maybe you just don't have the personality for it. He's got the personality, he's got the strength, he's got the power, he's got the athleticism, he's got it all to get it done. He's got it all to be that guy. Like, and what better than JBL, who's been in the ring with John Cena, who's commentating pretty much after he's been in the ring with John Cena, commentated the rest of John Cena's career. For now, I mean, he may not get back in the ring. He said, we don't know. You know, he could. I mean, we all didn't think the Undertaker was going to do one last ride, and Undertaker came back and did one last ride and got the job done. So who knows? John Cena right now, going to acting, doing movies, but could be in a WWE match again, just like when he came back and versus Roman Reigns, when he returned last Money in the Bank, and then turn around versus Roman Reigns and a match for the championship. So who knows what can happen? Anything can happen to WWE, and anything can happen with a great superstar like John Cena, who's all about wrestling, and that maybe you're a lot older than when you started, but you can still prove you got it. You can still get a job. I mean, Goldberg came back after, I think it was 6 years, they said Goldberg came back and became a champion less than 5 seconds against the Beast Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And then the Undertaker does a last ride and picks up a victory when everybody thought, okay, now it's time to hang up the boots and, you have your legacy here on the WWE. There's really nothing else you have to prove. And then, Triple H, he celebrated his 25 years in the WWE, and then kind of was like, well, I'm celebrating 25 years, but then he went to just, be like managing the WWE more than wrestling. But then look how old Ric Flair is. I mean, Ric Flair comes in after all these years of wrestling and then just being by Charlotte Flair's side, as a women's WWE champion, as a women's WWE superstar, and then he does a match that sold out in less than an hour and successfully picks it up. So anything can happen. Who's just said age ain't nothing but a number? If you have the heart and you have the mindset, you can get it done. Who's to say you can't judge you on that? So those are some great examples. Like John Cena said, he could pop back anytime and be in a match, and we'll be like, oh. And definitely my money would be on John Cena in that match. So that's like Daryl was saying, what better than him to speak on behalf of John Cena to say he's that guy. He was on the bump to be that 17-time champion. And then Sami Zayn was also on the bump, talking about, well, I want to win the briefcase and protect the blood. Do you really want to protect the bloodline, or do you want to protect the bloodline for yourself? So that you can sneak up on him and try to take his championship. Attempt, at least. He's good at manipulating. That's why he's a former Intercontinental Champion. So Sami Zayn could be like, oh, I'm protecting you guys from other people when I'm protecting you only to get you when you least expect it all from myself. So anyway, they're on the bump, knowing that and discussing it. And then after that would happen, then it would, out of character, it was the former UFC Octagon champ, the Magician, the Queen of Spades, former NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler on Out of Character. I seen up, down, with Xavier Woods and like Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, AJ Styles, and Liv was all on it if you're interested in the updation of the 2K 2022 wrestling game, or if you like video games in general that's related to wrestling. You can watch and check that out. It was pretty fun for watch it. I liked it, so. And then back to Monday Night Raw. I think that pretty much covered all of. I got a little bit sidetracked a little bit. So yeah, I did a 6-man tag team match, singles action, and after the 6-man tag team match, like that was the main event, along with the singles action that was pretty close. I think that pretty much covers all my. And then we had like the Miz and AJ Styles match. It was, the Miz came out there and challenged AJ Styles to the match, but then the Miz turned around and was like, oh, I'm done with this. I don't want none. Former WWE champion like AJ Styles, of course he didn't want no part, but Miz is also a former 2-time Money in the Bank Intercontinental Champion, WWE Champion, successful movie star. The Miz had no reason to, he's got Miz and Miz is trending all over the USA Network right after Monday Night, every single Monday Night Raw. So why does he have to stay there? And he's already got enough going on for himself and been in there for a few years now. But AJ Styles is like, well, you challenged me to a match, so how you gonna run away from the match? But I seen his face; it was all like marked up and stuff. Like he was in a fight there that night. He got scratched up and bumped up a little bit. He needed some ice on his face, for it might do some more damage. So maybe that was a good thing. And then that would pretty much, I think that's it. That would cover it all. That would cover your Monday Night Raw wrestling on the USA Network if you missed it, and Peacock, in my opinion on it. And then, like I said, Carmella won the Fatal 5-Way to earn a Raw Women's Championship opportunity against Bianca Belair, since Rhea Ripley got injured and wasn't able to compete for it yet. And I still don't know even today if she's going to be at SummerSlam. I mean, I imagine she's going to come back for it, but we'll see what happens. And then that would pretty much, that's my opinions on Monday Night Raw and the bump that is just announcing out of character. So, and then that brings us to Friday Night SmackDown Wrestling, the day less than 24 hours away from Money in the Bank, which could change the game for yourself. Plenty of opportunities if you're in the Money in the Bank match. Get a championship of your choosing at any time for a whole year. That you can literally wait till the last 10 minutes of the last day to cash it in if you wanted to. That's what's so good. You have control. But the thing about being Money in the Bank, you have just as much targets on you as a Money in the Bank as if you were the champion, because everybody knows, ooh, you can sneak up on me on any time, just as well as everybody knows, ooh, I want the championship out. So you have a lot of targets on your back too, as well as you think you have advantages. And then that would bring you on Friday Night SmackDown Wrestling, like I was talking about first before Money in the Bank. Like it had another bump, and then it had a kickoff, and then it had the actual Money in the Bank too. So I'm gonna go into it. That streak that I was talking about, the role that I was talking about, Liv Morgan being on a roll, being dominated as she comes, not only proving that she has a purpose, but proving that she could be dominated. Liv Morgan picks up another victory in a 6-woman tag team match to prove that, you will see her, she's here for a purpose, she is dominated, and you will respect her too. And she picked up that 6-woman tag team match, specifically her. So that's a pat on the back, and congratulations again to Liv Morgan being on that row I was talking about. Showing up and showing out, as Sasha Banks would say. And then you'd have Ronda Rousey and Natalya. Natalya, being her uncles and dad was in the WWE, and her being the third generation. She was with Hall of Famer Legendary as a Women's WWE Champion, with Beth Phoenix as tag team partners. And you got to go through Natalya if you want to be the best or be in the women's division in WWE. Everybody knows that. So with Natalya and Ronda Rousey, the baddest bitch on the planet, former Raw Women's Champion, current SmackDown Women's Champion, former UFC Women's Champion, and the Octagon whooping ass, the baddest bitch on the planet, standing up for their family and for what they believe and for what they think is right. Just getting heated and destroying each other. Like, ooh, this is a little bit of an Extreme Rules match. We can see the frustrations and the dominations pouring out into these women, that all this anger and all these emotions was building up to make it a dominated match, that somebody's going to get hurt. And so we saw that with Ronda Rousey and Natalya trying to toying with each other back and forth, that, ooh, this is going to be a domination match. Somebody is going to get hurt tonight. And then you have Baron Corbin win Battle Royal, proving to Pat McAfee, keeps calling him bum-ass Corbin, wants him as a challenger at the Money in the Bank. He won that, but then later on didn't get the job done against Matt Casmassen, who won the Fatal 4-Way match to earn the last opportunity and place to be in the Mr. Money in the Bank matching opportunity. So that would cover that that domination. 6-woman tag team match with Morgan. and that little Ronda Rousey versus Natalia, Battle Royal for Baron Corbin and Matt Kazmaz picking up that victory. That was the main event though, that fatal four-way match for Matt Kazmaz, which kind of like the last lap when he beat Baron Corbin and then did it all over again when he turned around won the fatal four-way match over Baron Corbin, who did like, oh, you won the Battle Royal, well, I won the fatal four-way to enter the Money in the Bank men's match. So how does that feel on you? You know, kind of like a back and forth situation there. And then you have the returning of the Viking Raiders, who apparently are to the dark side and assaulted the New Day, spread the positivity on there, and like, this is why we're former Raw Tag Team Champions, and why we're so dominating as they attacked the New Day out of nowhere that no one seen coming or expected. And then we had the models on there stuff. I mean, I don't know if anybody's interested in that. It wasn't really a match or a battle or anything, but it's actually a website that you can vote on and buy the merchandise and stuff like that that you can watch if you're interested in that. I'm not going to get too far into that. And then I think that would cover all of that Friday Night SmackDown wrestling. And then you had the kickoff the next day. You have legendary like JBL and Booker T, as we always do, giving their predictions based on Raw and SmackDown to the Money in the Bank. You had Kayla do another bump with the Street Profits as they face the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championship belt, and then Matt Riddle, as he's in the Mr. Money in the Bank, went to win it in honor of Randy Orton. And then you had the actual Money in the Bank with Raw and SmackDown commentating the Raw, like Raw commentary was doing Raw matches, SmackDown commentary was doing SmackDown matches, like they did at WrestleMania. And then you got, let's see, like for Monday Night Raw, they kind of went in a row. It was all Raw, and then they did all SmackDown. I might beat around the bush a little bit, but they had, I try to stay on track. It was all Raw matches and all SmackDown matches, but I'm just going to stay like my predictions and the results actually happened. So my prediction first was Bianca Belair Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey SmackDown Women's Champion. I wanted Raquel or Becky Lynch to become Miss Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre to become Mr. Money in the Bank, Bobby Lashley United States Champion, the Usos or the Street Profits being Raw Tag Team Champions was my satisfaction. So that was my predictions. That if you saw it on Instagram, I posted about it, my questions and predictions based on the Money in the Bank. And then the actual results would be the almighty Bobby Lashley, former WWE champion, now I think he was former Intercontinental champion as well. Now he's a 3-time United States champion. And he's also part of the Hurt Business Most Dominant Team, and now stands as a 3-time United States champion over Theory, which made Theory later on that night. I'll talk about the men's match in a minute because he became Mr. Money in the Bank Theory, as you all know. But I was talking about each individual WWE superstar. So Bianca Belair, Raw Women's Champion. Carmella couldn't handle the heat, tried to attack her after the match was over. And then 3-time United States Champion Bobby Lashley over Theory. The Usos remain Raw Tag Team Champions because the referee didn't do their job right, didn't see that the Street Profits shoulder was up, which doing all that hard work and then didn't screw because the referee couldn't do their job really is bull crap, and I can see why they were frustrated, why they were upset.